I think that many people are under the very common misconception that our crowning achievement is going to be when we open a business. Definitely not the case. Speaking as someone who became a realtor and was very naive when starting, I just assumed that as soon as I got my license, I would have business like that. I wouldn't need to market it. Maybe I could make one post and be like, oh, I got my real estate license. And people would start coming left and right, and just, investors that I knew would automatically start using me. I was very naive when I did that. I thought that I'd made it. Like I passed the test. What else was there to do? And so when I switched jobs, when I came here to Homestead Co, started working as a marketing director rather than a realtor because I didn't do good my first year. I noticed a lot of mistakes that I had made my first year as a realtor before I came here. And so I'm going to kind of be walking you through what I've learned here that really helps realtors in their first year succeed and actually go somewhere versus what I did my first year. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so as embarrassed as I am to say this as a marketing director, the first thing I failed at was marketing myself. I started out, and it's why I push the idea time and time again that even if you have nothing to market something. Make an infographic, for God's sake. I didn't do that. I was just under the common misconception that I only have to post listings. I can only post open houses. Like I want everything on my page to be a picture or something of me succeeding and doing fantastic in this or that. And I think that's where one of my bigger mistakes came into play. It wasn't my proudest moment for sure. Definitely not looking back in the position that I'm in now, where I continue reiterating the importance of marketing time and time again. I would say that was one of the mistakes I made, was just a lack of marketing for myself, for the business that I was trying to grow. That was where I first went wrong. And then second was I didn't do any reaching out. And the way that I would kind of go through that versus what Homestead Co does is I would go in, I would sit at my desk for however many hours I could a day because I was working another job. I would wait for someone to call me. So I wasn't doing any type of outbound calls. I was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, somebody's gonna call. Definitely, so many people need houses. I was very dumb. And then coming here, you see realtors come in every single day. They make these outbound calls, they get leads, they work the leads for months into years. And we have realtors who've been here less than a year, who've sold what some people might sell their 5th, 6th, 7th year of real estate. And so I would say I should have just pushed myself out of my comfort zone and went ahead and actually marketed myself. I would have made those outbound calls. I would have, come into the office every single day from this time to this time and had more of a schedule like we have the option of doing for new realtors here. So I would say those were, again, some of the bigger mistakes that I made starting out. And then lastly, I would also say educating myself. So obviously got my real estate license and I got into it, and you could ask me terminology about anything and I could answer you. But actually implementing that and growing the knowledge that I had, I didn't focus on that at all. And so that's something that we do here as well, is we have meetings 3 times a week, and it's just continually learning from mistakes other realtors have made, mistakes that we've made, and just having a time to sit there in an open space and talk about the failures that you've had and how to move forward from that. So I would say just continually educating myself on the topic time and time again would have been another great way for me to have potentially succeeded in real estate. No, honestly, I could stand here all day and talk to you about what I think I did wrong versus what I've seen people do here at Homestead Co that has led new agents to succeed. At the end of the day, though, if you do nothing for yourself, if you don't try to build the business that you want to build, you're not just going to be handed a successful career. That's not how it works. And I think that's one of the things that they teach here. If you don't go get if you don't pull yourself out of your comfort zone, if you don't make sure that you're putting in the work, putting in the hours, putting in, 100% of what you can give, then you're simply not going to get to where you want to be.